Let me along to your totally nude island. You took my hand, led me astray that day. I'm totally nude island.
Once you hear the mesmerizing calls of the rarest of exotic birds, you become totally consumed by passion. Totally consumed by passion. Put on a strategically placed shell, raise a little hell. Frolic in the surf, sand and turf, on totally nude island.
Darling, show me love, tell me lies. You do something to me, make it all through the night. Touch me once, kiss me twice. You do something to me on this isle of desire.
Kissed by eternal sun, kissed by eternal sun. A few miles north of the Tropic of Desire. Totally nude island. Totally nude island. Totally nude island. Totally nude island.
Let me along to your totally nude island. Let me astray to your totally nude island. Let me along to your totally nude island.
Gentlemen, we are in a system, and that system is our enemy. Take a look around you. What do you see? Me Too accusations, social justice warriors, crazy feminists, and hopelessly emasculated men. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we save those minds, those people are part of the system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these men are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so hopelessly controlled by blue pill lies that they depend on the system and they will fight to protect it. As a man, which do you prefer? To remain willfully ignorant of masculine and feminine truths, or to get out of your comfort zone and to seek the truth that the system does not want you to know? If you're a man who seeks the truth no matter how uncomfortable, then you know what you must do. Join me, and I will teach you exactly what a woman is thinking without even listening to a single word that comes out of her mouth. This is the power of understanding body language. In addition to this, you will be entered into the Masculine Empowerment Network and join hundreds of unplugged men from all walks of life across the globe. Unfortunately, no one can learn the truth about dating and relationships by simply being told from the system. You must live it and experience it for yourself. That is what body language mastery will do for you. Remember, this is your final chance, and all I'm offering you is the truth. Follow me, and let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the year-end show. I am here with the Oracle himself. The man, Charlie has transcended and actually become one with the blockchain. He has left us behind as the mere filthy mortals that we are, and he is
plug me in, baby.
He's plugged in. He's part of it now. He's the crypto Oracle. And what a time to be alive. Guys, welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 41, end of the year. We did it. We fucking made it. What a fucking year.
What a year indeed.
Yeah, Nigerian Don pulling out his Japanese Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu, that's right. Genki.
Good shit.
Listen to that. Okay, we got the Instagram stream going there. Just put that. All right, guys. So, just welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show. How's everybody doing today? Good morning. Things are looking good for us today. Yeah, let's talk about crypto real quick, guys. Just so you know, so this is our last show of the year, and as you guys know, there's gonna be big changes coming up for both of us. Our brands are growing, everything is exploding in massive growth, and don't forget that in just 8 days, we've got Body Language Mastery launching on December 26th, boys. modernlifedating.com/body language. Scroll down, click on this link right here, and then you're going to put your best email address in right here to get 100% access to the brand new course. I just finished the main parts of the course today with the main parts of the course were finished yesterday, the dating stuff, and all the bonus stuff for male body language is actually was filmed today. I'm already shipping it out to my editor. We're going to have everything ready for the launch on the 26th. It is going to be amazing. You're going to love the bonus.
Yeah, it's all looking good too. Nice, crisp. New model as well, right?
Oh, yeah. So Scott says, once you put the email in, how do you buy the course? On December 26th, you're going to get an email if you're on the list. And the email is going to it's going to have a hyperlink for you to click on, and then you'll be able to purchase the course from there. Then January 6th, the course education, the 3 weeks of training begins with the daily webinars. So you're not going to want to miss it. I mean, Charlie's going to be in there giving crypto advice. I'm going to be in there. Vince from Masculine Geek's going to talk about how to mummify these hoes in 2020. We're mummifying women in 2020. Richard Cooper is going to be in there teaching you guys how to be multimillionaire. Rollo Tomas is going to be in there talking about how to do the most, theory, and you guys get you're going to get access to his kind of excerpts from his new book when we talk about Red Pill and Religion in book 4. Ryan Stone's going to be in there. Carl's actually back on the internet from Black Label Logic, so he'll be in there. Donovan Sharp, professional MMA fighter John Fitch, Ed Lattimore, heavyweight boxer. I mean, the guests are just getting better and better and better. And then we got our private member guests, our Ryan in Texas, who helps out with asset management and tax, all those stuff. How to basically pay as least taxes as legally possible. It's just nothing but amazing value, and the testimonies speak for themselves. So, modernlifedating.com/body language, December 26th. Let's see. Somebody just said something. John P said, bro, John's shirt is fuego. Thank you. Casey from Body Language Mastery Q2 actually bought this shirt for me. So thank you to Casey. You're the fucking man. Yo, John, you look slimmer. Thank you so much. I'm actually down from 89 kilograms to 84.
It's a good change.
Yeah. I've been working my ass off. We're gonna keep slimming up here. Daddy's got to lose about 10 more pounds. And living that fat dude life, life.
Yeah, well, and going back to the States, around Christmas, you gotta be extra diligent.
Well, 2019 was a good year, and when you're living good and life is good, you're making money, you tend to get a little fat if you let your guard down. Hey, color me guilty. I fucked up. Scott Wolf says taxes are AIDS. Definitely agree with you on that one. Definitely agree with you on that one. About to enter interview where I will 1.25x my income. I just wanted to say thank you for this content. This shit changing my life. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much, Emperor. Spare no hoes. That's right. Remember my philosophy when it comes to women. Give them nothing, but take from them everything. Just like King Leonidas said, right? That's a good philosophy to live by. That's what they live by. So, what's up, Joey? Yeah, guys, so welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 41. We're just going to talk about what the fuck happened this year. It's
been a lot of fucking shit's happened.
We've made our number one enemy here on the Tokyo Crypto Show. On the interview with the man, number one enemy is George Bruno. And then on the Tokyo Crypto Show, I think our number one enemy is it Kelly Waffles?
Yeah, Kelly Waffles has made the list this year because
Fucking Kelly.
Unfortunately, we haven't talked too much shit about Tone Vase. I think we need to step that game up in 2020.
Tone Vase is not even worth a fucking.
Yeah, he's just easy fodder, I guess.
That guy.
Kelly Waffles is, she's been doing a lot more this year. I guess that's why we've been talking about her.
Tone Vase looks like he pees sitting down. Like he sits down when he pees.
I've seen some of his live streams where he tries to approach chicks. He's like, I'm a YouTuber. I do like he's just so awkward.
I have mace. Get the fuck away from me.
Pretty much.
Also, all you guys, I guess everybody loved the Rule Zero episode yesterday because I got 4 people booked consultations in like when I was asleep. I woke up and 4 consultations are booked. So, Dave, Zach, you guys are next up, and then Patrick, Edward, and then 2 new guys. I forgot your names, but I'm gonna get to you. Flying to Orlando, not even going to Orlando. Jesus, I'm going to Wyoming.
Cheyenne, right?
Going to the Lord's country.
It's a good place.
I love
been there
Wyoming.
a few times.
So Wyoming on Saturday. If anybody's gonna be in Cheyenne, Wyoming, give me a call.
That's from Denver. That's only a couple hours, yeah.
It's about 1 hour.
Yeah,
so
not bad.
Flying into Denver, and then my brother is picking us up. My brother's Christian though, so I can't go to the weed shops. I'm so sad. I want to fucking eat some Christmas brownies.
Just I don't know, find some public transportation, take a taxi or something, get away for a second. So yeah, I just have to go.
Just lie to him, be like, "Oh, the plane was delayed." He's like, "I'm tracking you on the Delta right now." What do you mean? I'm like, the app is crashed.
The luggage. I couldn't find my luggage.
My girlfriend's detained at immigration. That's what I'll say.
Oh, there you go.
They think she's a Japanese terrorist.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Oh man, yeah, Jack. I got a brother and a sister. I'm the oldest. Shocker there, right? I'll be in Cheyenne, but not Wyoming. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, Cheyenne must be a girl.
Yeah, I was thinking of play on words. Yeah,
That's like either a black girl or a stripper. So yeah, guys, welcome to today's show. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about the Bitcoin price.
All right, it's just jumping around a bunch.
Top left corner.
Alrighty,
we can pop that one on there.
Hey, let's go into it. So yeah, it's jumping around a bit here today. You can see, let me actually move this down and then I'll see it like this. You can see the wick down here today has gotten as low as 64.23, and it's gotten as high today as 67.37. Right now we're about 6,700. So, it's decent volatility for the day.
Mm-hmm.
The reason, I'm just going to go like that, put that back there. The reason why I have this box here is if you kind of scroll out here and you see all of the previous historical price action at this level, you can see here in 2017, November, was the first time that Bitcoin ever hit above 62 or 6,300. And then it had that as its first kind of, price discovery in that range. When Bitcoin topped out at 20K, it immediately came down and it hit this 6K area, hit this support zone. Oh, we got somebody. Who's this?
Somebody subscribe.
Let's see.
Press the matrix button first and then.
All right. I press it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Oh,
D. Gary.
D. Gary. Thank you for subscribing. You subscribed before. You unsubscribed, motherfucker, and you subscribing again? Welcome back.
And so, yeah, good stuff. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to MLD's show, I guess, or re-welcome.
With the crypto oracle here.
Oh, yeah. I'll make those spoons bend as we figure out the Bitcoin price or something. But yeah, so, there we go. It's a little bit thicker there. So here you get the price jumping off of 6,500 again. Get it again, get it again, get it again. And basically what we have here is just imagine like you drop a ball off of a tall building, bounces once, high bounce, a little bit lower, eventually kind of just hits here and then falls basically off of that support resistance zone, basically support zone here at that point in time. Breaks down, of course, and then that's what's holding us here right now. When we went back up in early 2019, we basically, the way I described it at the time is we sliced through this zone like a hot knife through butter. Just, it didn't mean anything at the time. Bitcoin's price just went wildly through it. Of course, when it did come down here, I remember I was in America back in May. We were talking, and within a 15-minute time span, this price just like jumped down real low, but it was supported by this area. You were freaking out a little bit, but that was right after you'd bought, I think, a whole Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that's what's keeping us right now. So if we zoom in to where we are today, we hit in that zone. We bounced back up. I believe we still have within this month, basically probably within the next 2 to 5 days, we kind of settle somewhere just at the top of this box or within this box. So anywhere between 63 and 6,500. We could have a small wick below it for a period of time, but these parallel red lines is the channel we've been hitting since the end of June. And what I said on my show yesterday, and I don't know why this thing keeps popping up there. The thing that I said on my show yesterday was basically you could see a pattern as we make this channel down, or a flag, whatever you want to call it. We hit this low part of the flag, then we went to the top of it, hit the low again, but went to the middle, so double low basically, right? And then to the top again, hit low, didn't go all the way back up, kind of double low on the bottom there, hit to the top once, looks like we're going to hit it again twice, and then that gives 2 reasons why we have a potential to go back up to the top here in January, which is, one, that's been a pretty solid pattern so far. Of course, it doesn't have to repeat exactly, but just it seems like it's pretty possible. Then the other part of it here is when you look at these Bitcoin 60-day cycles, the last cycle low was here back in the October 23rd, and 60 days after that is basically December 23rd. So pretty close here to a 60-day cycle. Of course, it can be a little short or a little long, but at the end of this month, basically from now through Christmas, somewhere around that time, is when we probably play within that price range, somewhere between 63 and 65 that I'm talking about, right? But then in early January, we have that chance to go back up at least above 7,000, I believe, but potentially higher towards 7.828K. So not all doom and gloom here, of course, but we still have this downtrend going. It's definitely not over yet. So just keep your eye on that as we go along. But, some people right now are calling for that $3,000 Bitcoin again. I don't know what to tell them. It's probably not coming. So once we bounce here back up to like 7K or we get above 7.5K, people will be again calling for 20,000 or something. So people, on the internet get a little bit over emotional, I guess you could say, when Bitcoin goes to the downside and the upside.
People are just emotional fucking wrecks, and that's why they are suffering. And
Well, they don't usually go in with a plan, like we've said this whole year, right? Go in
have a
with
fucking plan. Look, for me, my thing is I just want to collect. I don't want to say how many Bitcoin, but I have a certain amount of Bitcoin that I just want to collect. And once I have that amount of Bitcoin, then I'm going to look for a proper exit strategy that'll either allow me to buy a property outright or to put a pretty sizable down payment on a property so that my mortgage is non-existent, basically, and then I can rent the place out to somebody and then have income coming in on a monthly basis that I can just live off of as my other streams of revenue continue to flow. See, so I tell this to you guys. I say every man, if you're in this industry or this field or whatever you want to call it, I said every man, in my opinion, and I'm not a fucking financial expert, blah blah blah, don't sue me. But I believe every man should own at least one Bitcoin. It's like having, it's just having the ace up your sleeve just in case.
Yeah.
If it hits 100, hits 50, boom, you pull it. Hey, guess what? Now you spent 6,000, you spent 11,000. Say you got lucky and you bought it in 3,000, whatever. Even if you buy now, I know people buying coins now like fucking mad, and you put 6,600 down, and then it hits. Even if it hits 25, and let's say you buy like 3 Bitcoin now, you drop a quick 19 grand, and then it hits 25. You invest 19, and then you come out with 75. what's your profit there? 75 minus 19. You know, what is that? I can't do it right now, but you know, it's like 57, give or take.
Yeah, pretty
And
good amount of money for not doing anything except for buying.
Dude, you give me $57,000 for absolutely free, just like watching a show and like strategically investing.
Right? It's like,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take $57,000. $57,000 could buy you a nice Rolex. You could buy a car, even though the car's a fucking shit investment.
yeah.
You can buy gold. You can buy a rental property in some places in America for 57, or Thailand or Vietnam, and then rent it out to tourists.
Oh,
Put on
hell
a
yeah.
VRBO, Airbnb. I mean, there's so many ways to make money, and that's what we talk about. You know, in the whole sphere between us. And when Charlie and I go out, all we talk about is how to make money. Like that or just like, I don't know, like how fucked up America is. Like, that's pretty much it. So, you know, if you're a guy that's serious about sorting your finances out and you're watching the show every day, then, you know, this is a good thing.
Yeah, and like you said, like let's say we just get somewhere between 50 and 100,000 from where we are now, roughly, or where we will be around like 6,400 or so. You know, up to 75,000. That's literally 1,000% increase. I mean, you just can see that here on the chart. And that would be within the course of, you know, a year and a half, 2, 3 years, however long it takes, basically, right? You can't control the timing of it, but you can control your patience and your ability to sit on it. So basically, if you put in 6,000 and you're like, I'm willing to lose $6,000 for that type of return, that's the best type of return you're ever going to see out of any asset in your goddamn lifetime. I don't care what other market you go into, whether it's, you know, commodities, stocks, gold, whatever. You do not see those types of returns in any other market over even a long period of time.
So does this current price drop currently, right? So I think we got a meme.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is how we feel right now. But
Here's me. Okay, this is me right now. When everybody in your group, crypto chat, is joking about the dip, but you kind of actually think this might be the end. I'll be honest with you. This is me. Sometimes I
know.
Charlie uses me. We have a joke between us. He uses me as a normie radar. He sees he's like, when I start to panic, he's like, all right, the normies are probably really panicking.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Like if I zoom back in on this chart here, because I think we're still on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
John, I mean, you did it. I mean, your like price radar went off perfectly. You know, round here when Bitcoin was floating at 7,400, it had hit down here to 73, 72. Then we were floating for basically a day.
Yeah.
And I remember on this day you texted me, you're like, should I get out? Like, if I get out, how do I get out? And blah, 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 blah. You know, it's bread wallet convert from Bitcoin to, you know, back to cash.
Right.
And I was just like, you know, I gave you the strategy and you were just like, oh, that's a lot of work. And basically it's like, yeah, just stay, right?
Yeah.
And you did. Literally the next day, the price went from 7,400 here in one day up to 86, and then there after that up to 10,300 or so. So yeah, I mean, once you're like, okay, I'm starting to worry, but then you're like, okay, when should I take out my money? I think, yeah, is a good, not a good sign, obviously, but it's one of those things where, yeah, you just kind of get to that emotional level of like, okay, I don't want this thing to continue bleeding out, basically, right?
Right. So you're expecting a bounce in January?
Yeah, early January to mid-January.
Why do you think that?
So the thing that I just mentioned a little bit ago was here we've been bouncing in this channel pretty consistently since the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so we're getting pretty damn close to the bottom of that channel. In addition to the bottom of that channel, we have this strong, this box here, this strong historical support between 63 and 6,500. So those are the two things which are basically our safety net, or at least kind of like, I don't know what you'd say, like mud or quicksand, kind of slowing this price drop down. And even, to be honest, looking at like this price drop over the course of a day, basically about $1,000, this price drop over the course of 3 or 4 days of basically $2,000 almost, and then the last price drop over the course of a week of about $2,000 again. The one that we're seeing right now has just been over the course of the last week, and it's kind of slow. So this is not like a huge, fast price drop. If you look at the RSI down here on the bottom, you can see it's pretty low, which is on the daily chart. which is a good sign that basically Bitcoin right now is oversold or very close to oversold. So those things together provide us, strength in this area. On top of that, we have the 60-day Bitcoin cycle low upcoming. Let's say we hit that today, right? That would be about day 55, which does happen. Or it could happen on day 75, right? 20 days from now, which would be, like January 10th or something like that. So we have a pretty good margin for time, but also for price support here. And then, we don't have to go all the way up to the top of the channel, of course, on a bounce. But usually when a new cycle comes, the first roughly 10 days of a new cycle usually is pretty bullish. Like you see here, we got a low here on the 17th of July and here on August 6th. So of course, about 2 to 3 weeks, we had generally positive price action. The last couple of ones have been a little bit shorter. This one was extremely short because it was kind of a crazy move off the China news.
Yeah, that was the China news. Let's be honest. There.
Yeah, well, it was a multitude of things together, but yeah, that's what propelled it, and it was kind of like the opposite, basically, what happened here with Bakkt coming out, right? So it's kind of a counteraction to that a month earlier. But anyways, these cycles are real. They are consistent. And this price action, is solid. So we don't have to bounce all the way back up here to 78 or 8,000. But, I think at least back up to where we were just a few days ago in early January is pretty easy. Back up to the low 7,000s, mid 7,000s is pretty reasonable. And we did that even like here on that double bounce, right? We went back up basically from 77 to 88. So back up $1,000. And then hit it back down again, right? Hit down here, 66, hit back up $1,000 or $1,200, came back down. So, getting back up here to the mid 7,000 level is not going to be too difficult for Bitcoin. Getting back up here to the 7,800 level is very possible. Now, to break this pattern or to break this channel, it has to break, of course, either to the downside or the upside. So the real what I'd said on my channel was the thing that would really worry you was within December, if Bitcoin is significantly below this channel, like below 5,900, that would be, and for like a whole day, not just for like a short time, that would be a pretty big kind of canary in the coal mine warning sign, like, hey, this pattern is breaking. Or on the other end, if it breaks above here back into this next support resistance zone, back above 78 to 83, that would be, hey, it looks like it might take off. And if it did break 8,300, basically that's the area where you're like, okay, once you break that, it's pretty positive from here because we had so much time consolidating, so much time. It's basically been 6 months that we've been making this channel.
With the freakish breakout as well, with the China news.
Oh, this time, yeah, exactly. And it stayed within the channel. I mean, it broke up for a little bit, but not very long, right? It stayed mostly the bodies of the candle or the main part of the candle stayed within that channel.
And this is wave 2 of the current wave?
Yeah, so if we zoom out here, right, we have wave 1, which is basically the beginning of this current bull market. And we're in this wave 2 pattern here currently, which, like I said, if we break above this channel, it could be early in the year. If we start doing that, that's great. But I'm thinking sometime between February, maybe even into March, we still have this channel forming potentially. So it might be a while, but that's good news for people still wanting to get that whole Bitcoin or people who are cost averaging in, because it just gives more time for the community before we get close to this halving. But yeah, that's what we got forming. And actually, I told you this a little bit earlier, but I'll just mention it here, which is funny. Yesterday, I learned Ross Ulbricht, the guy who went to prison for making the Silk Road, the website that dealt drugs for cryptocurrency.
How long is he in jail, Charlie?
For life.
God damn it. And how old is he? 27 or something?
Yeah, he's younger than us, I think.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's in his 20s or early 30s, something like that. But anyways, the thing that was interesting about him is he's been putting out blogs about Elliott wave analysis. He's been doing Elliott wave analysis in prison, which is very, very interesting. But I mean, he's an extremely intelligent guy. I mean, you don't make a website that deals drugs on the dark web and are successful with it, and getting Bitcoin in its early days without having a pretty good level of intelligence. And actually, his Elliott wave analysis on the macro trend is very similar to this. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see, other people, other like-minded people who've been in this space a really long time, seeing the same patterns. And if you zoom out here, you can see, how long it took in the previous bull runs and how long, compared to how long we're doing it now. And they're roughly similar. So, yeah, it's still pretty positive. Everything above basically the weekly chart and the monthly chart are still actually in positive price action. The only stuff that is negative is from the 3-day chart down. And the 3-day chart just started to get a little negative for the last 3 to 6 days, meaning most of the lower time frames or the medium term time frames are basically negative, but it's good to keep the long-term ones, the monthly and the weekly one, in the positive, which they are. So that means the bull market is still in play, and this pattern of going a 1, 2, and then after we finish this 2, the third wave, man, for anybody who's in crypto who's never experienced an Elliott wave 3, it's amazing. And that's
When moon, Charlie. When moon.
second half of 2020.
Second half of 2020?
That's my call.
Write it down. Somebody write it down. Get your crayons out, motherfuckers.
And the
Second half of 2020. So we got to sell your kids, sell your wives, sell your husbands, sell your blood, sell your semen. Do what you can do.
Yeah. Spread that seed, baby, for money.
Fuck it. Genghis Khan on these hoes. 2020, mummify these hoes, sell your semen, buy Bitcoin.
Perfect. I mean, do what you got to do, to be honest.
Yeah, hey, I got no fucking shame, bro.
And I mean, look at the last major wave 3 was that last bull cycle, right? Going from basically $152 to $20,000. A literal almost 13,000% increase. What do we got here?
Mom says, Charlie, someone's about to eat their dick on live TV.
Yep, McAfee, unfortunately.
John McAfee. What did he say? Bitcoin's going to be $100,000?
Well,
a million.
He first came out in mid 2017 and said Bitcoin will hit $500,000 by 2020, or he said the end of 2020, I believe.
Oh, Lord.
And then he upped his ante and said it's going to be $1 million.
Oh, Lord.
So, but you know what he tweeted? I think I mentioned this quite a few months ago. What he tweeted out, or what he said a while back, he was like, he's going to go to somewhere in Southeast Asia and get some, prostitutes to eat his dick for him, in a metaphorical sense. So, or literal, you know what I mean? So he's kind of pulling back from that. I don't think he's going to go for it, but that's going to be a whole fun part of the crypto world in 2020.
It's Christmas season, so I'll quote Elf. That man sits on a throne of lies.
Yeah, he's definitely a show.
Oh man, I like him. He's a little bit of a maniac, but he's like a broken clock. It's right twice a day.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, he's a fun guy to watch, so I like him for the entertainment value. But
so the last massive wave 3
was the last bull market.
Price was starting at where?
$152.
$152.
$152.
When was that?
That was in January of 2015.
Wow, it was in Osaka. Okay.
In the first year of this bull market, from 2015 to 2016, nobody was paying attention. Why? Because it was not above the all-time high of $1,100 or $1,200, right? It came up here for about a year, and then it came down once, came down again. People were like, and then that was the last halving. People were like, meh, this price going from 150 to 700. Man, we're going to go back down. We're not going to break this $1,100. And then boom, it comes here, breaks it like fucking crazy. The second, from the second half of 2016 into the end of 2017 was just insanity, in terms of that type of parabolic price increase. And that's what got Bitcoin in the world's mind, right? For I think the third time, right? The first time was when one Bitcoin was $1. people were like, shit, this actually it might be legit. And then when one Bitcoin was $1,000, people were like, shit, this might actually be really legit. And then it broke down, and people were like, yeah, it's dead. And then once it broke that again up to 20,000, I mean, fucking, you can see the sky's the limit, right? And you can see the wave 3 of the wave 3, because I have these purple waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 3 of 3 was the most, insane part of it, going from here $453 to $5,300, so up $5,000 over the course of August 2016 to what's that? I can't see it.
You can move it, it's fine.
August, but a year. Going up. And what percent?
So what did it start? What was from where?
450.
450 to
5,045. So almost 1,000% increase.
4,050 you have there, or that's increased by?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, don't mind. Yeah, that's the price and that's the percentage.
So in 1 year, it was a 990% increase.
Yeah. And so if we were to see, let's say if we were to just see something like that for this wave 3, like a 900% increase, 990% increase, let's say from 6,400, that would be right around $70,000, $69,865.
You can mummify a lot of hoes with $69,000, buddy.
A lot. Can do a lot.
Mummify them. You can mummify like triplets, like Chinese triplets, or like a Chinese girl, a Korean girl, and a Japanese girl.
There you go.
Give them one knife and let them fight out between the 3 of them.
Hey man, whatever floats your boat.
Hey, as I get older, I just get kinkier.
But yeah, I mean, you could do a lot of shit with that, and if you also, I mean, for people who've been in the trading game long enough and know how to use leverage, when you go long, you don't have, you're not taking too much risk if you know the pattern, which is, right, you can basically borrow more than you have through a contract on one of the websites. So, let's say you went long 5 times, right? And you had one Bitcoin as collateral. You did like a whole Bitcoin worth of contracts, and you did it 5 times. What's 60,000, 70,000 times 5?
60,000.
70.
So that's times 5. That's 350.
Yeah, $350,000 minus some fees and whatever. You're probably not going to get the whole thing, but generally, let's say over $250,000 could be made if you went even just a small leverage of 5 times during that time.
250 can get you like at least like a 2 or 3, maybe a 4-unit little complex or something if you shop around the right area.
Yeah.
And you get 4 families paying you. Let's say 4 families paying you $1,000. Make it simple. So you got $4,000 a month coming in consistently. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, and the only risk you put out on that is losing, let's say, $7,000.
Right.
So $7,000 of loss in a 1-year time span versus a potential $250,000 in profit in the same time span. To risk to reward is pretty damn good.
I would say so. Mo wants to know, Charlie, what are your thoughts on Ethereum 2.0?
Yeah, he's been asking me that a couple of times. So one thing I talked about on my show yesterday a little bit was there's an exchange in the UK. It's not a big exchange, but they delisted, or they are delisting Ethereum because of the stuff which is happening with Ethereum 2.0.
Shit.
Which basically what they're doing is they're going from, they're changing the structure of how Ethereum is paid out to miners. Going from this thing called proof of work, which is what Bitcoin does, right?
Right. Now it's proof of stake.
And it's going to proof of stake, which, to be honest, the bad part about it is not the actual proof of stake is bad. The bad part about it is that going from one to the other after you've already been established, as how you mine Ethereum over the last 3 years, it's already established, right? So it's basically like putting a freight train in motion. It's super successful. It's going, decently, right? And then trying to get it onto a brand new track as you're building the track in front of it. I mean, that's kind of hard. But here's the thing. Yesterday on my show, I talked about decentralized finance, which the short term is DeFi, DEFI. And that's just a wider spectrum of not just cryptocurrency, but also how you can decentralize different facets of banking and money printing and everything. And the thing which is super essential to decentralized finance is smart contracts. And to be honest, Ethereum's really the only cryptocurrency out there that has had some success with smart contracts. So in order to get that space moving, Ethereum needs to exist. Of course, it's great if somebody comes out with a better way to do smart contracts or a totally new way to do it. That works. That's fine. But that's because that is essential to this new space building out over the next decade. I don't think it will die out. But that transition period may be
A
little rough in terms of the technology.
What's up with our boy Vitalik? Why is he doing this?
Well, you know how he's kind of a little bit beta and shit, right? So, well, yeah.
Vegan beta.
Well, I don't know what his true intentions are necessarily. I haven't read too much up on it, to be honest, except for like what's happening. But one thing he keeps saying as a benefit of proof of stake versus proof of work is that proof of work requires actual computing power, whereas proof of stake only requires you to prove you hold the tokens or hold the cryptocurrency, right? So, you know, the idea of lowering your energy footprint on the earth or whatever, that, you know, people saying stupid shit like Bitcoin, you know, takes up so much energy that, you know, the earth is going to go to shit or whatever, you know, it's like,
good,
whatever, you know. I mean, think about it. Like if you were to say, okay, the whole banking system, their buildings, their computers, their servers, all the things that the entire banking system needs to run, which do you think costs or uses more energy in this world than Bitcoin and Ethereum or the traditional banking system? Duh. You know, are we going to like stop as a functioning society? I don't think so.
Banks are so fucking useless, dude.
Yeah, well, we can go down that route too. But what I'm saying is proof of work, you know, people overblow it basically, how much effect it has on the environment. It's like, you know, computers are not going away. People are going to try to use more and more computing power. So, you know, if you want to focus on helping that portion of the earth, focus on renewable energy. You don't need to focus on trying to change how our technology works. Yeah, if you can make it more efficient, great. But I don't think he needs to change it from proof of work to proof of stake. But that's the problem you have when you have a centralized figurehead in charge or in front of a cryptocurrency.
Right.
So Satoshi Nakamoto went away when Bitcoin was created because he didn't want to be viewed as somebody who's kind of like a Jesus or somebody who, you know, people look to for answers, right? He just wants people to figure it out on their own naturally. So anyways, we can talk about how much we hate the banks too.
No, I'm just replying to some people in the chat.
Yeah, it's all good. What do we got going on?
So, taking a look at what we got going on here now. So, like, we got
Spencer says 25 times leverage or we can't be friends. I like it.
Oy vey. You gotta trade on 25x leverage or you're just a beta male. I don't know. Let's talk about some predictions for 2020. I predict there are going to be two things. There are going to be a lot of scammers once everything comes back, right? There's going to be a lot of scammers.
Yeah, as soon as the price go, I mean, they're always cut. They see the blood with the money, right? So whenever price goes back above 10,000, they start to come out of the woodwork pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see, in my opinion, we're going to see a shitload of scammers, but we're also going to see a shitload of scammers exposed.
Yep.
With the power of the internet, you just can't do dishonest business anymore.
And well, I told one of the guys who follows us, I texted or I DM'd him on Twitter. I told him to call in because he knows about this new cryptocurrency called Hex, H-E-X, which a lot of people are calling a scam right now. We talked a little bit about it on my show yesterday because Brenton asked a question about it. But I'm still on the fence about it. I researched some stuff that's positive towards it, some stuff that's negative towards it. And I tend to, with all cryptocurrency, I come with a huge grain of salt. And I think, first of all, I look for why it shouldn't work, right? I look for that, what's the scammy aspect of it, what's not going to work. I always look at it in a negative sense first. And that protects, you know, you not getting overhyped, basically, right?
What is Hex supposed to do?
well, if I'm going to go with the grain of salt, enrich the guy who made it.
Right.
He's already made over $3 million in Ethereum. He may make over $100 million in the first year, and over other hundreds of million dollars over the course of its existence, which
my
is
God.
genius. But
Unreal.
if you go at it from the positive perspective, is basically it's a more fair cryptocurrency, as I guess you could say. It's supposed to reduce whales so that the price is not so crazy and stuff over time. It's supposed to be a lot more of a stable cryptocurrency, kind of like how Bitcoin Cash is saying we're the real Bitcoin. It's not going that far, but it's saying, hey, here's this new type of coin that basically is more equitable to the community because of how it's mined and how it's produced. I mean, if you can get it for free. If you have any amount of Bitcoin, for example, if you have 1 Bitcoin, you get 10,000 hex for free, right? So if you just say, hey, here's proof that I have 1 Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin, right? You get 10,000 or 5,000 hex, and you can just sit on that. But most of the people are actually buying hex via Ethereum, and the way it's laid out is you're incentivized to hold it for at least 1 year to get certain amounts of payout. So that helps the guy who made it because it will increase in price via just people buying and holding. And then, he's the only whale. So if he takes out, then, that can kind of crash the price. And there's a lot of other small stuff in between there, a lot of other details, but I'm of the angle of that I really don't trust it right now. But, it can hope it proves me wrong. But that's one of the scams that you're talking about that people are trying to expose a lot right now.
Hex.
Yeah, it's this guy named Richard Hart who you either love him or hate him. When in 2017 I watched some of his stuff. He had some really good interviews. He's a smart guy. I mean, he made this idea for this cryptocurrency is pretty legit in terms of how he planned it out. He's super intelligent.
Right.
But there's been a lot of negative press around him recently as well. So you just kind of have to see how this game plays out. But I think that's one of the things that's biggest on the crypto market right now. That's of what you're talking about.
So hex, huh?
Yeah.
How about this 2020? What's the highest price?
That's price calls are always
Hey, let's
something.
just do it for entertainment.
I'm gonna go. I had this wave 3, and this is a guesstimate, right? I have a wave 3 going somewhere around $50,000 to $70,000
So in 2020,
within 2020, after the halving.
$70,000, huh?
And then, of course, after the wave 3, we do have a wave 4, which can go as low as the top of wave 1, which we know was at about $14,000. I don't think usually wave 4s don't go all the way back down to the wave 1, but it could come back down here to like $25,000 or so. And then around 2021, so get a crazy high in 2020, and then come back down here in early 2021, and then still have that room. You have to have 5 full waves in this count.
Right.
And so then basically after wave 5, one thing that you can do with a wave 5 is basically have what they call a truncated fifth, which means it only comes as high as the wave 3. But usually it does extend beyond. We have this area here around $90,000 to $10,000 or $100,000, which is based on past price action, probably most likely. And then potential to go above that, but that anything after 100,000 is basically gravy on top of this, right? But the only difference between now and the previous markets was from this time on, right? From the end of 2017 until now was when we had Bitcoin futures and Wall Street involved. The CME got in first, Bakkt got in next. Fidelity is getting in now. Ameritrade is getting in now. Some of them are positive. Some of them are trying to suppress the price of Bitcoin. I mean, it fights against what they stand for in terms of Wall Street. Wall Street is not a decentralized network. It is a extremely centralized group. It is an exclusive club, and none of you guys are in it. I mean, if you are in Wall Street and you get a lot of underground, what do you call it, like, rumors and stuff before they hit the news. Great. But most of us are not in that sphere. And so that's the beauty of Bitcoin, is it kind of, says fuck you to the banks and takes this back, for everybody to be able to be, in it.
Well, I'm trying to think where I think
So
next year.
Yeah.
So you think between 50 to 75?
Yeah, and I think that would be its natural price progression with, Wall Street fuckery. I would say, 30 to 50,000 is a pretty good bet.
I will say we will break the all-time high.
Yeah.
I think we'll break the all-time high in 2020 with the halving and all that. It's going to be a solid year. So, guys, we want to say thank you so much for being with us this year. We fucking love you. It's been one hell of a year. It's just only going to get better.
Yeah.
Get ready for this fucking roller coaster ride. We're really happy to have helped you guys make money this year. We're happy to have had you in Body Language Mastery webinars with Charlie, and also Charlie's private text message group. And if you want to join that, just click on that link right there in the chat. You can get all the information you need. Charlie, Merry Christmas, pal.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
We're going to go to America. Charlie's going to Minnesota. Minnesota's having a good year in the NFL. So,
we might see you guys there.
well,
the boys.
Congratulations on your future victory.
Well, we beat you once, but not by much this year.
Yeah, the Cowboys are like the fucking, I don't know.
Dumpster fire.
I'm trying to think of a shitty crypto to compare them to. They are the
Aurora.
They're the BitConnect of the NFL. Like they get you up a little bit, but then you crash hard.
Yeah.
It's hope that twists the dagger.
The Vikings are like that too. I mean, yeah. In my lifetime, they haven't gotten to a Super Bowl, so if they win one playoff game, that's a start. But I would like to get to the NFC Championship, but we'll see how things go.
Cannibal Kane says he's in Minnesota as well. Guys, Charlie
awesome.
wants to meet some of you guys, so if you're going to be in
Yeah, why the hell
Minnesota,
not?
hit him up. Charlie's going to be in the St. Cloud area.
St. Cloud and Minneapolis metropolitan area.
So go have a beer with him, or 17. Bring some crypto weed.
17. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Bring some crypto marijuana and get high with Charlie and talk crypto and drink some beers and just bring in the new year.
And then just mold yourself into the blockchain.
Join the crypto oracle here, as he has become one with the blockchain. It's been wonderful, guys. It's been real. I'll keep doing my show. So I'm doing my Star Wars show tomorrow, where I'm going to be doing in the afternoon, approximately 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't decided yet. Probably going to be it's going to be around afternoon. So I would say anywhere between 1 to 3 p.m. it'll be there. I'll try to put it up. I'm going to do a live reaction to The Rise of Skywalkers, the new Star Wars movie, because I've read all the leaks, I've read all the spoilers, and it's going to be we're just going to show how feminism destroys anything. Like if there was some way to apply feminism to Bitcoin, like Bitcoin would go to fucking trash. It would go all the way down to $1.
Yeah, Rolo had one good tweet on Star Wars, which I thought was hilarious and kind of true. He's just like, it is Star Wars now is basically, what is it? High School Musical in space. It's like the people that they're casting and stuff. They're just like saying, they're just taking the Star Wars brand and people will pay for it. They're not trying to put out quality.
Fuck them all. We'll talk about it tomorrow, and then I'll be doing free consultation Friday. And then I'll be flying to America. So no dude party. I will not be on Reel Zero. I may or may not do the Sunday Red Pill Sermon because I'm getting everything ready for Body Language Mastery Q2. Everything's being refilmed. If you're already in Body Language Mastery, you get the complete upgrade 100% for free. No upgrade fee, nothing like that. You also get entitled to come to the webinar. So let's finish the year strong and let's start strong. And until then, we will catch you guys in the year 2020. Until then. Yes, Moa, I'll be flying into Denver. Hit me up on Instagram. Peace out.